Get real.
What's going on, guys? Welcome into episode 98 of The Scope. I'm one of your co-hosts, Crash. This is my mustache. And these are my fellow co-hosts, BlueTheRobot and Buffnerd Gaming. What's up, men?
What's up, brother?
Hey, yo.
We'll see.
Thanks for the handlebar mustache.
We'll see how everybody takes the mustache throughout this whole thing. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm excited about it, to be honest. Feels good. My chin gets a little cold, but it's all right. It's all right. I think I look good.
It's all right. It's all right.
And I'm not divorced yet, so it's going pretty well.
Hell yeah.
It's going pretty well. How have you guys been, man? So much happening. We were talking before we went live. There's like stuff's going down right now.
Everything happened before you hit the live button.
Yeah. So we were scrambling a little bit because we're epic journalists, and this is the best program that if you want to stay up to date on FPS news, I mean, this is your spot, right? Like,
to be fair, like how many breaking like late stories came out within the past 30 minutes, right? It's not really our fault.
Dude.
Quite a few.
I mean, it's good for the show, because usually we're always like a week early or like a day early before all the breaking news. So it just happened. They knew our show was happening, so they decided, all right, guys, let's just start leaking stuff and start putting stuff out. And
they were like, the scope is going to cover this. They took the free coverage right there, released it right before.
Do you think that's happening, Buff? Do you think like all these giant companies are going to start realizing that if they drop stuff on Monday like afternoons, that we'll cover it, and they're just kind of using us?
Yeah, I think so. We need to start pushing back and saying we're not covering it unless we get a piece of that pie.
Yeah,
exactly. There's plenty to go around.
Because when you think of leaks like the GTA 6 trailer, like it's one of the biggest things that's ever going to happen in gaming, Grand Theft Auto 6, right below our show. So
right below your mustache. Right
below
my
your
mustache. That's like,
That's true. That's a valid point.
The scope, my mustache, GTA 6 in that order. That's probably how it is.
Yeah, I think so. And everyone knows it too, which is the important thing.
So I guess before we go too awful much further, that happened. The GTA 6 trailer leaked. How I understood it, based on like kind of like a few tweets in real time from Tom Henderson, was that Rockstar Games uploaded, you guys know it was supposed to go live, I believe tomorrow. It was supposed to go live tomorrow. Somebody hacked in somehow and got the video off the YouTube server, potentially a YouTube employee or somebody else, but it like started showing up places, and then they went ahead and just said screw it and dropped the GTA 6 trailer. So it's crazy. Have you seen it yet, Buff?
I was watching like bits and pieces of it, but I mean on mute. It literally, I just noticed it when I joined in here with you guys. So I need to watch the whole thing with audio.
Happened. Yeah, it literally happened
like 20 minutes ago. Yeah,
dude, it actually looks insane. It's got like TikTok stuff, influencer stuff.
In so much trouble. Is whoever they find out, Rockstar is coming out.
I don't know.
Didn't they do that when someone they leaked the gameplay for it? And they apparently didn't they charge the person or something like that?
Yeah, but I mean, think about it. The trailer, because this trailer that just came out was supposed to release tomorrow. So I mean, I'm sure
bad, I guess.
Someone's gonna get a slap on the wrist, but you know,
not charge.
it's like everyone was ready for it anyway. If anything, it's so good. It's better.
It looks crazy. It looks absolutely insane, man.
Shout out to the state of Florida, because they definitely
there's gators.
They represent my state pretty well, man. I'm not gonna lie.
There's gators at American flag bikinis and firearms and TikToks and mud wrestling.
Yeah, when I saw the Mud Festival, I was like, dang it, they know our secrets.
Yeah, and you can see like a throwback to what I think's Vice City. We got the airboats and beaches, and it just looks cool, and
it looks too real. It looks too good.
It's a one of those what a time to be alive things. This is when this thing releases next year or 2 years from 2025.
Really, 2025. You can say a year.
Yeah, well, I mean, by this time next year, shit'll be hitting a feverish pitch. Like a year from now, about this game releasing, and it's just going to be wild to see what happens. I'm literally thinking about. I think I just want to take all the money out of my federal retirement and drop it into Take-Two Interactive stock and just let it ride and see what happens.
Dude, that would actually be really smart.
But Oh, it's already
Billy
heads
Mud
up. We've
Club. Oh,
detected
that's
video in your
hilarious.
string belonging to someone else. I already got a warning from YouTube, and it's just
Did
playing
you
in the
really?
background. Yeah, already
That's
did.
nice.
That's
That's
crazy.
so
Oh,
nice of
well,
them.
All right, well, we'll take that off. And
turns out,
I,
well, that's
I
why
mean,
we should
it officially
maybe we should
released.
make a
So.
maybe we should make a Patreon just for moments like that.
yeah. No, it actually already I'm playing the
That was
video
quick.
from
That was
Rockstar.
quick.
Oh yeah, it's already within
Oh
there.
my gosh, they're Rockstar. See, they watched our show. See, they're sorry guys, sorry Rockstar. We don't mean to. We didn't mean to.
If you're gonna be like that, you're gonna have to get out your checkbook. You want to be on this show, man. Yeah, it's just crazy, and that happened. How have you guys been? Like, how's the weekend been? You've been playing video games? I know Blue's still stalking.
I've been watching Blue stuff here and there when I can. It's really fun to watch that game.
It is cool.
I am addicted to Stalker right now. Yeah, but also just like the hardcore survival genre and like in its entirety, because there's some good stuff coming out, man. We still got Gray Zone Warfare that I just got. I think I don't know if you got that message, but we'll talk about it later, probably after the stream. And then I played Test Beautiful Light as well, so that was fun. I didn't get to get too much into it. But if you for people that don't know what Beautiful Light is, it's basically just like a hardcore extraction shooter, PvEVP, or PvPvE, however you want to say it. And it sounds amazing. It's on Unreal Engine 5, and it's still super early access though. So it's like it's not any. It's one of those games where I'm just like, all right, cool, I'm excited, but it's nowhere near the final like result. There's not even like a proper inventory system. So it's kind of just we're really just waiting to get more into it. And then I just played a bunch of Stalker Anomaly. Been streaming that pretty much on the channel. It's been doing really well. Channel's been doing great. I've been and getting a lot of advice from the Stalker community on like, especially because Stalker 2 released that trailer as well, the Strider the story trailer, which by the way, that entire like the facial animations, we should maybe hopefully crossing our fingers see something at the Game Awards, possibly another trailer, maybe even some gameplay. A release date would be sick for Stalker 2. But because apparently from the demo that they showcased at I forgot what game convention, but they were about a couple hundred people got to play Stalker 2, and a lot of people were saying that it seems like it's ready. So there's a lot with the Stalker franchise that I'm ready for. So, and modding support available day one. So
that game's gonna be massive too. Oh, especially
that's gonna be another big release.
Because what's crazy, there hasn't been one in how long, and the community on YouTube is still strong as it gets, man.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm surprised how long it's been popular for. And it had like a resurgence because of Stalker Anomaly. And then it just kept growing from there. I mean, I knew of Stalker before Anomaly, but I never got to play it until recently. So, and then they had it on sale. They had all the old games on sale for like $4 here, $5 there. So I went and just bought all of them.
Nice.
Yep.
Buff, you been in Dublin 3 in?
Yeah, a little bit. You know, doing a lot of videos and playing a little bit here and there when I can to level stuff up, getting ready for Wednesday. So I think I'm ready to go. Pretty much multiplayer. I'm still having a lot of fun with. So, but I think I leveled up pretty much what I needed to, and unlocked what I needed. So I'm eagerly anticipating Wednesday.
I'm so bad at video games, you guys. I'm having a rough go, man. In Siege and in S&D, I can't figure that game out. I think MW3 is like a good game and it feels fine and everything, but I suck at it, man. I guess I relied too much on footsteps in MW2 and I didn't realize it. I just get destroyed.
I mean,
destroyed.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's footstep audio in a competitive mode, like there needs to be some level of footstep audio. So
because
It was a problem all the way back to, I mean, if we're looking at Call of Duty, like back to Blackout, right? For Black Ops 4, that battle royale. Footstep audio was always something that people were complaining about. Footsteps weren't loud enough, things like that. So curious if with the release of Warzone, if they're gonna, and ranked play also, if they're gonna go back and rebalance some of that specifically for like ranked modes and things.
I don't know. I think it is a little bit telling that they said at COD Next that won't be going into Warzone. Covert sneakers, like covert sneakers, are not going to go into Warzone.
Oh,
so
good.
So
Okay.
yeah, that
They
was
said
somebody.
that? Okay.
Okay,
That's
yeah, I
good.
did
That's
see.
good.
Because I went around and looked
I think
for it
we
on
were talking
Twitter
about the
because I
last
thought
time.
I'd seen it, and someone asked J God, and J God replied that at the presser at COD Next, they said covert sneakers are not going to go into Warzone. So I was like,
Good.
man, you think like you take a competitive mode like that and you don't put them in there, and then it's like me trying to play search with them in there. It
Yeah,
sucks,
so
man.
there's a reason why they're not putting them in there, and they
Right.
probably they know the reason why. So
Yeah.
why keep them in ranked mode and other game modes? Yeah.
Right. It
I
shouldn't
think-
be in.
I think they don't
Beating it.
do. I think they don't do. There's no problem with them in respawn modes, but man, in search, there's zero counter to them. It's one of. It's kind of crazy that it's a perk or equipment that every single player uses. Like everyone, there's no variety in that slot of the loadout for anyone, and there's no counter to it either. It's just ultra powerful, no counter, and it makes the games play weird. Justin with the $4.99 super chat.
Woo!
Happy Monday, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And Redbeard
Thanks,
with the
Justin.
membership for 8 entire months. That's incredible. Thank you guys for the support. And also thanks everyone for being here. Super awesome that you come hang out with us on Mondays. But with everything we talked about on the show, we're going to talk about the Warzone 3 preview, everything coming up with that. There's a lot of information. We can get as deep or as shallow as you guys want to. Gray Zone Warfare, if you guys have been paying attention to our channels, they launched a new trailer this last week that we made videos about. And then the day before, which is going to be crazy, we can speculate and talk about that whole entire situation and some quick shots. Some of the breaking news, unfortunately, was New World Interactive getting shut down. The people that make Insurgency Sandstorm, that studio actually got shut down, which, as high as and exciting as you get for GTA 6 and like Warzone integration, all the cool stuff happening, that's a blow, man. That hurts. Like that's really, really sad. And we'll talk about that a little bit in the quick shots too. But
Yeah.
that was an absolutely massive bummer, dude.
One of the most disappointing things I've heard in a long time in gaming news. For sure.
Yeah, we'll get more into it later on, but it makes zero sense to me because but as a fan, that would make sense. So Warzone 3. I'm calling it that. They're not calling it that. I don't know what else we would call it so people understood. Because it's like they're just going back to Warzone. Well, then you say Call of Duty Warzone. Which one are you talking about? You talking about the Cold War one? You talking about the original one? You talking about Caldera? You talking about whatever the hell the other one was? Like Al Mazrah? Like, what are you talking about? So we're going to call it Warzone 3. The new map, Urzikstan, is coming to the game on Wednesday. And guys, let me tell you, if you have any questions about pretty much anything on the map, I'm your guy. Let me answer them for you, because I've been editing Iron's videos, and he did an entire walkthrough of the map, and we uploaded him as a series on his channel, and it is like 7 hours of content of checking out like every single building, where you can rotate, where this stuff is, like which buildings are easy to hold, which ones aren't, and all that stuff. So if you guys are kind of like waiting and wanting something on in the monitor in the background, and want to have a heads up on the map, because as someone who's edited these things, I'm ready to drop in Wednesday. I know where I'm going. I know the rotates I'm going to take, and I know the buildings that I'm going to go to. So if you guys are just kind of biding your time or whatever, and check out Iron's channel. I have one more video that's going to go up in the morning for the tier 3. He basically went on Urzikstan in the zombies mode and broke it down by the tiers. So he did the outside tier, the tier 1, tier 2, and then tier 3 in the middle, and explored all those. And you can see his favorite buildings. I tried to time tag it as best I could in his video, so you can see when he kind of breaks down what buildings are good and what aren't, based on like how many ways up, where you can see him, the rotates in and out and all that stuff. He just breaks it down. Like, I mean, you guys might, I don't know if you're familiar with Iron or how his brain works, but dude,
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna check those out.
He's got you
You
covered.
get an inside scoop before anyone else, man.
Yeah, I feel pretty comfortable with the map. That being said, some of the interesting things about the map that kind of came to light today. I also did some really good journalism for you guys. Ruff, we already watched it. Get with it, man. You got to be here at the beginning. So so what I'm saying is, I did some really good journalism. There was a media event today, a media and press event today, and I actually got a screenshot from that presentation from someone's stream. So we'll have a little bit of information that's not technically being released until Wednesday, so we can talk about that. And then there's also some stuff that came out that I thought was really interesting. I want to get you guys' take on this. Apparently, it did not feel like it when editing all these videos. Apparently, this map is 20% smaller than the last several.
Yeah, that's so.
Which is crazy because, like, it didn't feel like it because it's so much more dense. And I've noticed that, like, checking everything out, there's like way more unique buildings. A lot of the old maps had a lot of cut and paste stuff. A lot of these guys are unique, or a lot of these buildings are super, super unique. And there's just hardcover everywhere. And they're doing 100 players. And the old ones didn't they do 150?
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't it like that?
So yeah, it was like 150, but they kind of went between like 150 and 100 back and forth. It depends. They switched it back, and there was at one point I think in Verdansk they did 200 for a little bit too.
So apparently the matches are going to be shorter. They said that they wanted people to be spread out enough that they could loot. Like the beginning games weren't like super crazy and intense. You could actually kind of loot, get your bearings. And then the mid game was full of rotates and positioning, and then the best players win at the end. Didn't they say that matches were only gonna be like 15 minutes or something, or 20 minutes?
20 minutes, I think. Yeah.
20 minutes, yeah, because rebirth matches are usually like 15. So everything's gonna unfold within a big map in 20 minutes. So they're shortening it.
Yeah, that's pretty good, I guess.
I'm interested to see. I'm interested to see the new pacing, because I think in the last one, especially, there was a lot of downtime in the middle. There was a lot of downtime.
Yeah, I remember we talked about that, like the downtime, and then the way the circles were rotating in that one was just like really, really tough.
Yeah. So. Do you want to? What do you want to? How deep do you want to go into this, Buff? I have the thing pulled up. I also have some of that pre-release stuff that's going to come out on Wednesday, with quality of life changes and stuff.
Yeah, we can go into. We don't need to go super deep because I think everyone's kind of. My cat has his own opinions. We've seen a lot of the stuff, so we can kind of just give it a high level overview in our thoughts. And I think
real quick,
we'll break down
a little bit of breaking news for the GTA 5. They just ended up releasing it on their channel.
Oh, nice.
He just said, the fact that they told us to stop watching it is just kind of upsetting. But it was
that's what I was watching it from. I was watching it from Rockstar Games YouTube channel. Is where I was checking.
Really,
it out.
And he still told you.
Yeah, they must have it to where it like live flags and they claim your video probably.
Yeah, probably.
Dang.
Well, hopefully they release it.
Yeah, that would be. Yeah, that's kind of crappy, but. I mean, they need more money. They're not going to make near enough money. Probably. What was I going to pull up? I don't remember. Anyway.
The Warzone quality of life stuff, I think.
Oh, bad, yeah.
I got the blog post. No, we got to get, Blue's got to stay up to date on this stuff because he's going to represent us in
There's
court.
So much happening, dude. It's crazy.
You got to represent us in court when they come after us.
Yeah.
Here's some of the stuff coming, but overall, like I said, map 20% smaller. Again, as someone incredibly familiar with the map, I think it's going to be good. I really do. I'm actually kind of excited. There's going to be no covert sneakers, and the map looks good. A lot of rotates, not a lot of open space, a lot of uniqueness. There's basements back. There's some buildings and stuff by the mansion that have like all kinds of tunnels and stuff underwater. There's pools inside buildings. Just lots of crazy stuff. So you have Vondel and Ashika returning, but I know at the beginning I'm also excited for Resurgence is going to be on the new big map, so they're going to be smaller parts of the new big map. So I'm really going to hit that probably. And you can see the map on here, unless you're a podcast listener. Sorry. Ooh. So just from my observations, some really good landing spots are the Kotovo blocks up in the top left, as well as the Aldar Estates down here. There's some really powerful buildings and some secluded buy stations, so you guys can like start your games there. And just if you guys look at the map, man, there's just a lot of diversity and a lot of cover all over the whole thing. So I'm excited to see how it plays out. I hope it's well. And the stuff that's coming along with it, man, they did a lot of stuff with movement. You have slide canceling tack stance ADS running while reloading, a slight movement boost while using the Stoom, and additional changes. So they basically gave people perks. Like you start with all the perks that let you do that. You get a backup pistol in the water, which is huge. Manual gas mask, gas grenades, dedicated ammo slots. So I think they've made kind of a middle ground between the complexity of Al Mazrah and, you know, kind of how it used to be in the old Warzone. You still have a backpack, but it seems like a little bit easier and quicker to get through. Which if the game's only lasting 20 minutes, you don't want to spend, you know, 10 of that fiddling around in an inventory. So I get that.
Right.
It's gonna be a drivable train, the horizontal zip lines. We talked about that. New vehicles. We talked about that at COD Next. Big games bounties and stuff are coming back. And then the new perks, you have tack pads. Everybody gets these. So everybody gets tack pads for sliding, commando gloves for reloading while running, quick grip gloves, weapon swap speed, climbing boots, and overkill. So everybody gets overkill off the rip, which is
that's awesome.
It's pretty cool. At first I thought it was overpowered, but then I'm like, man, the original BR, like PUBG, you can pick up whatever gun you want in either slot. So it's kind of like, it's actually kind of a move to a more traditional BR actually, where you can have any gun.
I think it'll quicken the pace a little bit too, just because, you know, usually you were like, okay, I gotta get my first loadout, then my second loadout, then my overkill one with Ghost, and
remember back to last year, I kind of have to walk back on what I said a little bit. I thought having the new inventory system where you could have more stuff in it and carry different things was better, but I ended up not liking it, and I kind of realized that I didn't really like the inventory system, and I thought it was kind of clunky, and I was looking forward to it actually, if you guys remember. And then it kind of made me realize the charm of the original Warzone, like how easy it was and more accessible to where you didn't really have to worry about your inventory too much. You just worried about fighting. And it's kind of nice and positioning and stuff. So a bunch of new perks. These are all pretty much stuff we've seen. This is all pretty much returning stuff. Now there's going to be a new gulag, again, different events within that, like the Ascender, where there can be, instead of an overtime flag, there's an ascension cable. You can decide to go out or wait and bait it. There's night vision gulags coming, all kinds of different events and stuff like that. Season 1 Reloaded will have a covert exfil, a new secondary exfil condition, as well as, so I don't even know what that means.
So that is kind of, they're integrating more stuff from DMZ, it seems like. So you'll be able to like exfil before the match ends, which I remember they were talking about that, whether it was Warzone 1 or leading into Warzone 2, they were talking about kind of opening it up more, so you didn't need to be the last team alive. You could exfil before, if you did some tasks or like got some things that you needed to do done or whatever, you could exfil out. In some, and so I remember that was a discussion, whether it was leading into Warzone 2 or sometime in the life cycle of 1, that that looks pretty sick. So I'm pretty excited for that. Again, it seems like they're bringing in some of those aspects or I guess qualities from DMZ maybe into Warzone.
And then 5 new weapons. So Buff knows all about those. Probably you got videos up on the channel.
I covered like an all weapon thing. They're adding the Tavor 21, the Macmillan TAC 50, and then they're adding like one of the EMP like anti-drone type guns that you see kind of operating in Ukraine right off the bat for battle pass stuff. And then we're gonna get a Beretta SMG and the FN Evils, which is the next newer iteration of the SAW from FN in the Reloaded. So 5 total primary weapons, which is nice because usually it's usually you're seeing like 3 weapons and then like 2 knives and melee stuff. So this time it's actually 5 total primaries, which is pretty cool.
There's also some really interesting aftermarket parts coming, like 9 different aftermarket parts. So like an underbarrel flamethrower, a double barrel kit for one of the guns. I saw that there was like a crazy compensator that actually made like super, super, super low recoil, but it made you the Jack BRB. Phenomenal reduction in recoil while significantly increasing the muzzle report, resulting in an extended red dot on the enemy radar. So they're actually experimenting with like different attachments that change other aspects outside the gun, which is kind of cool, I think.
I think that's a good one too, because there's definitely some weapons that have like pretty heavy recoil that could use some assistance. So I mean, again, pros and cons system. I like it. So
Yep. They're taking the operator Dokkaebi from Rainbow Six Siege, like straight ripping her. So that's good.
oh really? I wasn't familiar. Does it look pretty much one for one?
Yeah, pretty close. Pretty close.
Nice.
A
Love that.
different gear and stuff, but like really the same look, and like the gadgets and stuff kind of look similar. With like Dokkaebi has the logic bomb communication device, this operator has electronics, and yeah, it's pretty similar.
Nice.
Actually, similar enough that the lead designer, the head of Rainbow Six Siege, responded to the tweet where they put her out and they said, "Really?" So like again,
Yeah.
the lead of Rainbow Six Siege also noticed the similarities. So I don't think there'll ever be any court action or anything. I don't think it'd be worth it, but I thought that was interesting. So a lot of new weapons, and again, looking at all this stuff, and there's like 3 new multiplayer maps coming, and all this stuff is really, really good. And it just makes me sad that I suck and I get knifed in the back if I stand still for 3 seconds. In Search and Destroy. So that's a bummer, man, because I want to have fun in that. But it also has me a little bit excited for Warzone. And again,
yeah,
I think, and based on what like Iron has said, it's gonna feel a lot like Verdansk. And
nice.
it's even maybe gonna play better. He thinks, of course, I think he's just pretty excited to not be playing on Al Mazrah.
Yeah.
But he's saying that he thinks it's gonna be their best map yet, based on like the design. This Shahin Manor in the southeast part was really, really cool. Like there are some unique and cool buildings and details. And I just feel like, based on just observations and things, it feels like they spent the most time on this map of any of them, because of the detail. The buildings have stuff in them. The buildings have like, there's like furniture, things on the counter. Like it feels like a completely finished and detailed map. And there's like different underground tunnels and like trenches you can run in. And even though it's like area wise smaller, I almost wonder if there's not just as much or more area because of all the buildings you can go in, the tunnels, the basements, the different towers and cranes. And I think, I don't know, it could be like Hopium or whatever, but I think it's going to be a really good Warzone map.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. So that's the main stuff there. So if we're talking about some of the stuff that I gleaned, I took this from a creator screen. I don't know if they were supposed to share it, but I grabbed it. This is a slide. This is a slide from the creator meeting and news meeting. You can see Ted Timmons, their head of communication. J God was in the call, and like you can see that stuff. But these are the season 1 quality of life changes that are going to be happening. I think they're going to release these just Wednesday right before it goes live. So this is like a little sneak peek of everything going on with quality of life changes. Some of the things, I don't want to read all of them. There's actually a lot of them, but I can try to I can try to skim through and find the ones that are important. Gas mask is now the first item in the loadout UI. That's actually really nice. Increased gulag entry kit drop rates. You have better weapons in the gulag. Backpack to loadout auto equip of items. That's really big. That's what I was talking about with the kind of streamlining the inventory a little bit. This is huge, and this is something that Rainbow Six Siege finally added, and it makes it way better. Enemy pings will show on kill cams, because the pings used to be like you would be pinged and not know it, and you would get shot. Somebody would be kind of tracking you through a wall or something, and you instantly think cheater. Yeah. But there's a chance you could have been pinged. So now that'll show you. So that's really cool. One-shot snipers have returned. Stay tuned for Iron and what he's going to do. That's going to be incredible. He's going to be disgusting. No weapon tuning. So we kind of like that. Buy stations are lootable. Buy stations will show on the attack map if they are accessible. So if the buy stations are on the attack map, you can use them. Once you can't, they'll disappear. That's a good quality of life. Smoke grenades were nerfed a little bit. Portable radar distance doubled to 76 meters. So that's actually a bigger range on portable radars. So it might be worth picking those things up. Reduce the loadout cost a little bit. Who knows how that's going to be? We have no clue how the economy is going to be. Gas mask overlay has been clear. I'm trying to think of anything else. You guys can screenshot this and go over it if you're interested. I just don't want to nitpick, forever.
Yeah. It seems like at least I mean, this is good news though, because they're being transparent, which is good, and they're making a lot of changes. So I think they obviously realized Warzone 2 on Al-Mazrah and everything was definitely not good. And I think in theory, I remember this time last year when we were talking about it. Like in theory, I think it sounded really good. Just execution wise, wasn't really executed correctly. So like I'm definitely excited movement back to kind of how it was more so in Modern Warfare 2019, and just a lot of those quality of life changes or reverts, and then they definitely made some improvements here. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm pretty excited for sure, and the fact that you're reiterating Iron's thoughts that it feels a lot like Verdansk is music to my ears.
Yeah, I
think we all miss that.
I think people are gonna like it. And you touched on their communication a little bit. I just want to say, like,
Yeah.
I appreciated that, man. Today they said, people are like, man, why is the map smaller and stuff? Is that true? And then they tweeted out a tweet and talked about kind of what we said at the beginning about how they wanted the game to flow, be a little bit quicker, but also give people room in the beginning to kind of get established. They didn't like the randomness of like everybody jumping in the same spot and just fighting out. And you got to hope you get a gun. They kind of want to get rid of that chance and that just relying on landing on a gun, luckily to win. So they just kind of went through their details and a little bit of stats and all their reasoning on why they chose to do it this way. So if it comes down to it and it sucks and I hate it, I'm still appreciative that they kind of said why they did something. I think that would help out a lot of studios and game designers. I feel like people are smart enough to figure it out and appreciate it. I, for one, appreciate it when they give a little bit of the reasoning behind why they make some of these changes. And then if it turns out to be bad, it's like, well, I get why they did it. You're not as pissed.
Right.
The other thing I saw that I liked was low visual overlay is more transparent for better visibility. So that was really cool. And then I also didn't know how much I wanted to bitch and complain about the keyboard and mouse aiming again. I don't know. Did you see the video by True Game Data?
I did not. No. What was he doing?
So basically, it's about why the aim has felt really crappy for keyboard and mouse and not consistent in the last two Call of Duties. And it has to do with how far the reticle deviates from the center of the screen with the inertia of the weapon. And that's not really like many other shooters. And how when you ADS, your weapon is swaying all the time. And when you ADS, it doesn't ADS in the center of your crosshair.
Yeah.
It goes to a random spot and continues to sway. He's saying it would be a lot better if it zoomed into the center and then started swaying. And then the worst thing was, not only does your mouse or stick movement, deviate the reticle from center, when you strafe and move, the reticle will deviate center just by strafing, just by side to side strafing.
Okay.
And he was demonstrating how much worse it was on keyboard and mouse because rotational aim assist helps just a little bit and it kind of negates some of it. So if you're looking at someone and you're spamming left and right, basically in the example he showed, the crosshair stayed on the person without any right stick movement. If you do it with mouse and you AD strafe on the keyboard, it was like going all over the place. And he wasn't even using his mouse hand. And it was like, so he was just showing some of that.
I was watching that. Yeah.
It's a really interesting video. It shows, and then he compared it with like 16 other games and how they didn't do it or didn't do it near as bad. And that's why it can feel weird. On mouse and keyboard a little bit worse than controller, but controller as well. Mainly controller with being like the inertia, and also like when you aim in, it doesn't go to the center. It goes to wherever it happens to be swaying already.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's a really cool and well done video.
What do you think about, because especially with the Or like the very snappy movement that people do as well too.
Mm,
I know people. I saw like it would kind of almost. It felt like it was tracking pretty easily there.
yeah, I think the aim assist is. I mean, I don't know. We could go down the rabbit hole again, but it's just stronger in COD than pretty much any game. I think there needs to be some level of it, but I would love to see changes to bring it just a little bit more back in line. Mainly for me, I don't even hate. I don't even hate where that how that rotational aim assist help with that. I just wish you would take away that wonky movement from both inputs, and then I just wish aim assist had a little bit of a delay. Because the times where I'm frustrated with it is if I come around a corner and someone's holding that corner and it sticks to me and gives them that head start like instantly. If it just had a few second delay where the person actually had to react like I do, or like other mouse players do, I don't really care about anything else, because there definitely needs to be some aim assist. If you can't have it, yeah, it has to be there.
I agree with that. And the way I have my aim assist is like I have it typically set up so it doesn't do that, because when it locks on and sticks and moves with it, it really messes up my aim. So I have mine like dulled down to like the bare minimum so that that doesn't happen, because it really messes me up, especially if you're looking at a target and sometimes if someone runs past, like it'll pull you if you're shooting at somebody else. So I remember that was a big issue in the beginning of Modern Warfare 2019, and I made sure I fixed my settings so that wasn't happening.
So all of that to say, I agree. All that to say, if you're a keyboard mouse player and it feels weird, check out True Game Data, all one word, on YouTube, and you can check out his video, and it'll be like, oh, okay, that makes sense. As to why it kind of feels weird. But I think that's pretty much it. I don't really want to get too much into the weeds with it with the minutia, because I think a lot of other creators covered that, and there's just not much else to say other than we'll kind of give some impressions on it next week. But I don't know. I do this all the time. I'm getting excited. I get myself excited, get myself built up for massive amounts of disappointment. But watching 8 hours of Iron explore the map and talk about how good it was going to be, and some rotates and stuff, and just to see, like, just to hear the excitement back in his voice and stuff, it just, and like some of the POIs, like there's a farmland like that looks like Verdansk farmland, and stuff.
Nice,
like you see that stuff and you just get a little nostalgia hit of like 2019, and like it might be good. So I'm excited to play Resurgence on there, get back into it and be able to hear people. I guess I'm really at a loss with Search. I know you guys listening, like before, I wanted to try to get a 3-win loss in this game and keep going, because I was cranking in MW too. But I guess I just rely on footsteps too much. I suck real bad. So
I noticed cheating's like pretty bad too. So I mean, who knows how that's affecting in Search, but hopefully they do some sort of update to the anti-cheat, because this Justin and I were playing just the past, even since the game launched, like the past couple of weeks, like I've just insane the amount of like blatant cheaters you see. Like
cheating's been super bad in Siege. Holy crap! It's
I bet it's wild, man. So that definitely.
I saw your stream when the guy was literally just shooting through the ground with a pistol.
Oh yeah, you were there, Blue. That
was like the most blatant. I mean, I know it's happened before and I've seen other videos, but to see it live is a different, like, oh my gosh. I mean, and then the fact that like one of the guys did get banned mid game, then he came back or something. I don't know. It was weird to see that. Like, I don't.
Well,
know if I saw that right.
No, one of the guys left to turn his cheats on and then came back. So like to toggle them on and then they'll rejoin. Yeah. Someone did get real time banned in one of my COD matches like a few days ago. That was kind of cool to see. He was cheating and then it said not battle eye. What is it? Ricochet. Ricochet removed this person. So that was cool.
Wow, I've never seen that. Good for you.
I've seen it like 3 or 4 times. So that makes you feel good to see that. Yeah. But I do have to say, like, talking about the cheaters in Rainbow has been absolutely horrendous. I've gotten my elo back for that stuff. So already, like the next day, they banned them, and I got my I got my stuff back.
Oh, nice. That's
so it's they got him the next day. I lost Elo on my rank and I got all that back. And then that's happened like 3 or 4 times. I bet I've had.
Okay, you get it back though. Okay, especially if it's a cheater.
Yeah. So if it's a confirmed cheater gets banned, they cancel the match. Those stats are gone, and you get all that MMR you lost. You get that back. So you get your rank adjustment back up where you should be, and it cancels all the stats from that match. So like it never happened, which is super cool. Yeah. So cheaters been bad. Hopefully they get better. And then Wednesday we'll be playing Warzone 3 or whatever the hell we're supposed to call it. So
I'm excited, man.
Hey, Blue.
Excited.
Did you know the GTA 6 trailer was out?
What? Shit. No way, dude.
we should just do that every 20 minutes.
Just come in randomly.
I should turn the ticker on and say, yes, we've seen the trailer.
Do that. You need to do that now at this point because we've seen it, guys. Just for people that are just tuning in, we talked about it earlier. And then Rockstar was like, hey, stop watching our video. And then 40 minutes later, like, all right, we're going to just release it on YouTube. So
they're watching it on the scope. Everyone's seen it. Then we might as well just hit it.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you think? You guys want to talk about Gray Zone Warfare a little bit?
Hell yeah.
Definitely.
Man, what'd you think of that thing, Blue, that new trailer?
I'm excited. It's so what they did was they took like the first teaser trailer and just like remade it. Is what they were telling me. So it was just to update some of the animations and some of the graphics, and they took some of the feedback from the first trailer and basically used that to make the second one. I don't know if we're gonna see anything soon. They did say in a month we'll see some more stuff. So I'm excited to see what that stuff is. I don't know exactly how much we can say, but at the same time, dude, I'm already seeing the title all over YouTube, the Tarkov Killer, and it's not going to be the case whatsoever. Like it's just going to be hopefully a really good alternative to Tarkov, or really just another good extraction game. Like you're able to play Tarkov and Gray Zone Warfare and whatever other extraction game comes out. The weapons in there as well too. I love the animations of like when the guy was actually like when he would check his magazine, put it back in, and then close the dust cover. I was like, whoa, I've never seen that before in a game, that the guy actually closed his dust cover. I just thought like little details like that really shine, I guess, for like gun enthusiasts. And then just seeing like the risers on top of, with the little aim point sights and stuff like that. All of it looks amazing, and I'm just excited to see more about the story, because especially when it comes to replayability for extraction games, I know you are a big advocate of that. Of like, what's the end game? What's the end goal? Like, I'm just gonna keep getting loot, better loot. That's it. So they did say that's one of their main focuses, is like having a story behind it, where but it's not gonna be like you go in cutscene stuff like that. It's just gonna be like a never ending server, a persistent server, which is even better. I think is the way Tarkov should have gone that route. Persistent servers instead of just like raid timers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could talk about this as much as I can. I wish I could talk about it more.
Go off.
But we still haven't even seen we haven't seen raw, uncut gameplay.
True. Yeah,
that's the thing.
We really don't even know what the core game loop is, like what a raid looks like, what you're doing. Like we there's a lot we don't know. I feel like from what we've seen, all we can tell is that the animations are insane. Like, and on top of what you said with the weapon animations, even the character animations. So when you see that guy mantle the fence, like that looked so smooth and natural. How he jumped over the fence, pushed his leg up, pushed himself over. I talked about that in my video. The other thing is, I don't know if you guys noticed it, how the vegetation interacts. So
yeah, I saw that in your video. Yeah.
Yeah, in my video, in one of the shots, you see the guy walk by and the leaves move. It's like we've seen that in a few games, but later in that shot, he shoots and the leaf next to him blows over from the muzzle gas.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. So like
Yeah.
the gas is actually blowing the grass around him.
Yeah. So if you watch the shot towards the beginning, the guy walks below and you see the leaf move. Then he takes a knee and starts shooting, and that leaf is blown by the muzzle gas and moves.
Yeah.
You know how much
It
work
looks so cool.
that is? How much for like developing just that alone?
And
For interactive fauna and grass, it's insane. Especially, is it Unreal Engine 5? I believe.
Yeah. So there's the shot where he moves.
Yeah.
And then watch in the low right corner when he shoots that leaf. Whenever you see
Yeah, I'm watching it on the stream because this, again, it's so gorgeous.
It's cool.
Oh, I kind of see it. Yeah, it's like very, very small. And
It's
also
pretty
the
cool.
looting. I'm really, and I think I mentioned this as well to my video. I was like, please let there be some kind of quick loot aspect. I don't want to have to drag and drop every single piece of loot item. But yeah, I mean, it looks so slow too, which is, I mean, you're gonna have the moments of like walking real slow, checking your corners, and all of a sudden, firefight, all hell breaks loose. You get into some quick chaos, and then it calms down again after you win the fight, so, or lose the fight. And then that's another thing. What happens when you lose the fight? I'm guessing you lose all your stuff that you go in. That's what I would assume. That's the way they should do it. I don't know if they're gonna go like, oh, you keep certain things and stuff like that. So, yeah, it just looks cool. The little bird animation in the beginning too. Like,
Yeah,
what is all that about?
Awesome.
Is that, are you extracting? Are you inserting? What is that like a cutscene when you're like loading into the match? Like, what is all that about? Because if like, is there gonna be vehicles involved? You know?
Yeah, I think that was like an infill, but again, who knows, right? I mean, there very well could be vehicles. I'm sure that there has to be vehicles, right? You'd think so. So
I don't think there's player operated ones.
I don't think there's. Yeah,
but the hell,
and maybe that's a pretty good balancing feature. Then I mean, because like, how many times do we all get mad about getting like run over by vehicles or vehicles that are just, you know? So maybe it's a good thing.
Exactly. I'm curious because in the first trailer, and they didn't really show it this time, or maybe not that I noticed, but there was a chemical and like radiation meter as well too. So,
oh, really?
Yeah, in the first trailer. So I'm curious, like, so we're gonna have to worry about, you know, maybe bringing in gas mask and radiation suits or radiation chemicals or, you know, stims, whatever, to help with radiation and stuff. And then on top of that, it looks like you have food and water. It's gonna be really heavy on the survival aspect, it seems like. So
I'm pretty sure Rick also said that they want the bullets to interact with the leaves. So like if a bullet goes by you, like the leaves will move and stuff.
Dude, and that'd be great for like because there's no HUD, you know, so you can tell where you're getting shot from.
And I did like what HUD I saw, like when he was checking the chamber, a little thing popped up and showed you what ammo it is, but then went away.
So small. Yeah,
I liked it.
And then also like the bleeding effect as well too. So it's like, all right, I know I'm hurt, especially when there's a game no HUD. I need to know if I'm hurt or not. It's not like Tarkov where you have like the little, you know, health system in the corner. You can see what arm gets blacked out. You have that in a separate menu, like in game, from what it looks like. So if maybe you will have your arm go black out and stuff like that if you know, lose it too much and have to use a surgical kit of some sort. So yeah, it looks really cool. Also, I did the fact that it is like confirmed, like not a make believe version, but just a different version of or inspired by Vietnam. So
oh, okay.
I had a guy in the comment was talking about it. He was saying like it looks like it looks more like one of the border towns of Vietnam. So it's got some like different influence because there's some French influence. I don't know. It was just really cool to know, like, okay, whoever is like taking in the buildings and the surrounding areas of Vietnam, they're doing a good job of like showcasing that.
They said it was inspired by Laos, I think.
Laos, yeah, okay, that makes sense then. That would make sense.
Pretty sure.
So border town. Okay, wow. So so the
that
guy who was actually who lives in Vietnam, it was like, yeah, this looks more like a border town. Damn. Okay, so they're really doing their homework with this, man. So
yeah.
But that's the thing. It's like, yeah, they're doing so good already. I'm worried that it's too good to be true.
I mean, but I mean, true, but also it's like look at it from the how many times in this show have we just been like, it's so logical to do like this is what you need to do. This is what you need to do. So like maybe you have. I mean, this isn't like their first game. You know what I mean? They're an established studio. Granted, this is their
Yeah, that
first
was
leap
another
into
thing.
this.
Someone talked about, yeah, they have other games that came out, Dead Trigger. I mean, it's on mobile games, I
Mhm.
believe.
Yeah.
But so that's why I'm like, it's a little bit like I'm wondering where they're gonna be. And apparently they have I literally just Googled it just now. Their number of employees is 100. So that's
Someone
100 employees all possibly working on this game.
someone
Wow.
did say in my comments though that they actually had faith in him for this because they played mobile games and they do allegedly, I don't know, but they said in my comments that they do a super good job with their mobile games. So they expect them
Which is
to do pretty well
already
here.
a good sign.
I mean,
Yeah.
based on what we're seeing, I believe it. So
And then I think the chemical and radiation stuff is gonna have, from what I've heard from Rick, is gonna have to do with the story, with the lore. There's gonna
nice.
Which
be
is, I can't wait for
there's
that,
gonna
dude.
be there's gonna be some weird and eerie stuff going on the island that you're gonna have to deal with. It's not the center of the story, but there's gonna be some
Huh,
crazy stuff going on.
Sweet. That's
man,
cool.
especially because I'm on my stalker kick, bro. If they start bringing in like artifacts or something like that, anomalies, like little zones of radiation, and
Yeah,
like,
you should ask Rick about
oh
that.
man,
You
you
sh-
know what though? That kind of, you know what it reminds me of? It kind of, and people already mentioned this. It feels like first person Division Dark Zone as well
Yeah,
too.
a good point. It's a good point. Yeah,
Yeah,
which is
because that would
awesome.
make sense. Yeah,
Hell
because you
yeah.
have like your chemical, zones as well in there
and
too. So
he said they kind of want to make it more along the survival, and you're gonna have to deal with AI a lot. You're not gonna run into other players that often, but it's gonna be often enough that you gotta pay attention like at all times.
yeah, you can't just start. Yeah, you
So
don't run
I
around. And I
I think
hope
that's
the
cool.
AI is good. That's it,
Yeah,
because
that's gonna be
especially if that's the
huge.
case, yeah,
Yep. AI and cheaters, like that can make or break it. Like if they got the AI working good and they got a good handle on cheaters to get, a good amount of them out, then
Mhm.
that's huge. Those are huge steps. Um, but basically they want to make it to where like you kind of feel like you're alone on the map, but in the back of your mind you're not. So like
Right.
something could break out like at
and
literally
that's the
any
thing
time.
too. It's
That
like, yeah, because it's persistent. So
that's
there's
right.
players
Yep.
coming in and out all the time. Yeah,
And that's where the unpredictability of the persistent servers makes it huge. Like you
which is way
never
better.
know.
Again, same thing with the issue with Tarkov. Everyone knows the spawns. Everyone knows exactly where they're gonna be at. They just rush that area and snipe
Yeah,
from across the map. So it's,
and that's how it was with DMZ too, right? So yeah, that's something. It's just
yeah, even
weird.
DMZ,
So
and people
weird.
knew, it was like, oh, I know exactly where the spawn is. I know where we gotta go, guys. It's
Yeah,
like,
just
whereas this
ruins the
one, it's
flow of the
like,
game.
yeah, and even if there are spawns that people know about here, it's gonna be, you never know when people are coming in and out of a raid.
Hmm.
And then on top of that, you don't know exactly what has happened on the map. So, like, let's
Right.
say a
Right.
certain area that you want to go to, oh, there could be people there already, or they've gone. So I don't know. It's really cool. I did say, and then I think Rick was talking about too, day night cycles as well too. Um, so that also brings in night vision, that flashlights and stuff
Which is
like that.
awesome.
So,
Hell yeah.
I assume that's going to be a great aspect of, nods at night and
Hmm.
point shooting and PEC systems. And I really want to see how customizable the weapons are going to be as well too. I think that's going to be a really big aspect. I know he was saying that it's not going to be Tarkov level where you take off the gas block and the
Right.
gas
That's so
tubes, and
excessive, though. Yeah, you don't need that.
every single screw on the handguard. You got to make sure it's torqued to spec.
Yeah,
But
that's all. That's too much. Yeah, I think like World War III level was even a little bit too much. It was great. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think you need to go that far, right? A little bit
yeah,
more
I
basic
think
than World War III.
he said they're not going to have like upper and lower
Yeah,
receivers. It's just
you
going
don't
to
need
be
that.
just,
You don't need that.
yeah, you're going to have handguards, you're going to have
Mhm.
sights, you're going to have suppressors, compensators,
Yeah, that's
I would
perfect.
assume, stuff like that.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
lasers, lights.
Ideal, yeah. I think the old Medal of Honor Warfighter and now Call of Duty
Yes,
did it like they did
Warfighter.
it. Warfighter did it first, and I think Call of Duty did a good job improving
Warfighter's a good
upon
game.
that. Yeah, great game. I
And
need
then
that
But
back
yeah,
in my life. But yeah, I think the guns, and just looking at the gunplay and stuff, and some of the different builds they have here. The gunplay looks great. So
He's like everyone too. It's like the recoil, especially like fast. He was shooting some were shooting semi. Some looked like they were shooting auto. Like it was pretty accurate. It didn't look like he was really trying hard to control the recoil, which is another good thing. And a thing that I hate about Tarkov is just like you're supposed to be a PMC, private military contractor, and you can't shoot your gun. Like you shoot like you shot for the first time, So
dude,
that's
a good
thing
that's a good point. There were some instances when I was playing Tarkov regularly, like you'd be level like 30, 40, whatever, and like level up you like build this awesome weapon to bring in. I remember I went in with like a 60 round casket AK and just like mag dumped on a dude and like somehow didn't kill him. It's like what?
And you're like, and that's like the way to like level up your recoil in Tarkov is just to go in and just full auto like 5.45 and 5.56. Just so it's like I don't have to like gamify certain aspects. I just want to go in, shoot, and loot.
And Tarkov is getting new recoil this wipe in the December wipe.
That's good.
So like a completely revamped recoil system.
I'm excited to see that actually.
So that might make the game a lot better. It's hard to tell. They've released some clips and stuff, but it's just so hard to tell until you like get your hands on it.
Until you get your hands on it.
Yeah.
And I hope they figure out netcode and stuff like that too. That's going to be huge. And then I think it's also worth saying, because everybody's comparing it to Tarkov, there is a 0% chance that this is a Tarkov killer. If you engage
100%,
if you engage your brain just a little bit, you can think back to games that were massive that quote unquote fell off. Like I've been playing PUBG again recently. PUBG got big enough that it's gonna live for indefinitely for quite a while. Even after Apex came out and Warzone came out, and all these better battle royales and Fortnite's kicking, PUBG still has like 300 to 400,000 peak players every day on Steam.
Right.
And I've been playing it and there's still low level players like
and then there's console as well too.
Yeah. So Tarkov has reached beyond the threshold and it's a unique enough one of one type game to me. It's never going to die. There's always going to be fanatics. There's going to be people who love it. It got big enough that even if a large swath of people don't play it anymore, it's not going to happen. Exactly like what Timmy says.
So many other players
with the CSGO killer. When games reach a certain threshold, they're never gonna die. There's always gonna be a big enough audience to keep them active.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. So that's
if you just engage your brain a little bit.
Well, I mean, think about it. Like, has that ever happened? Like, you have, all the COD killer all the time. Like X Defiance, the COD killer, the WoW killer, and like, New World's gonna be the WoW killer, and all these are gonna be the certain game killer. And it's like, dude. The only game that
it's just
can
for
kill
it's
it
just
is
for
itself.
clickbait, just for titles. I mean, but the thing is, some people actually believe that.
Yeah, and I found myself doing that a little bit because I don't want to compare this game to Tarkov, but to get people to watch my video, I call this an Unreal Engine 5
I almost
Tarkov
did
version.
that. I almost did that because my CTR percentage was a little bit too low. I was like, if I just put Tarkov killer, I know it'll blow up a little bit more, but I don't want to put myself in that situation and push that narrative more. There's no reason to. Yeah.
I have been having fun in
it's not true.
PUBG, and I actually over the weekend played Halo.
Dude, PUBG. I was watching Summit. I was watching him play some PUBG again. That game has changed a lot.
It's way different,
since
man.
The last time I played it.
So we could talk about it in quick shots, but they're actually releasing their 10th map. So
damn, that's impressive.
This week, I think the same day Warzone releases. They're releasing their 10th map, Rondo. Crazy.
Nice.
Like, yeah, if you haven't played it in a long time, I've made a couple videos like that over the course of my YouTube career where it's like, go back and play PUBG if you're bored. Like in those super downtimes when people are tired of everything.
Right.
Check out PUBG because they have like hang gliders, they have bicycles. They have like bicycles you can fold up, put in your backpack, and then take out your bike and get on it and ride your bicycle. Imagine if Deadside had that. Like
that's crazy.
They have just all kinds of cool gadgets and crazy stuff, and I'm constantly like, what the hell does this thing do? Like they've added so much to it, which going to take it a step further, gets me a little bit excited for what Krafton's doing next with Project Black Budget, which is going to be their PUBG Studios' next game is going to be an extraction shooter. So all those cool mechanics they have about carrying your teammates, and they have gulags now, and like all that stuff is going to be pretty cool in an extraction shooter, in my opinion.
Beautiful.
So yeah, Gray Zone Warfare. We're going to keep track of it. Madfinger Games and Rick and those guys are doing an epic job of talking to content creators and staying in touch and everything. So
seriously. And it's one guy doing it, dude. Rick is the only guy.
Rick is the man.
I don't know how he handles talking to all these content creators.
They have a community manager too, but I haven't talked to him.
Is it not just Rick?
There's a community manager. He's the head of communications, but they also have a CM.
Oh damn! Well, then it's just okay. 2 guys.
Yeah, I think the CM is going to be a part of the thing that happens next month. I think, but I don't know.
Yeah, next month. I'm excited for next month to see what's next.
Yep, we'll keep our eye on that one.
I mean, it is releasing next year. It is 2024. So we will be able to get our hands on it next year.
So this game is releasing before GTA 6. Did you guys know that there's a GTA 6 trailer?
No, dude.
What? Yeah, totally.
No way, you're lying to me. Oh my god, dude. GTA 7 is now trending on Twitter. All right, ready for GTA 7 already.
I'm so over it, dude. Ready for GTA 7. All right. Day before. Man, what a wild ride this game has had.
Which one?
The day before, the day before, the day before.
Isn't it the day after a movie, right?
I mean,
the day after.
After it launches, you could call it the day after. So whatever. This show's terrible. So if you guys haven't been following along, the day before it went from the most wishlisted game on Steam to something we talked about super hyped up to a series of very weird and cryptic videos, a massive amount of delays, and it left a bunch of people asking, is this really a game? And apparently it's launching on the 7th. So in 3 days,
apparently,
and
people already got keys.
They've done some of the most cringy and like weird stuff with trailers and with answering people, and just handled PR so poorly.
Horrible. Yeah.
And when was this thing? Today? Was it today?
December 4th.
Yeah, this morning. They released a message that was like a complete 180. In my opinion, it's like, if you're like, Crash, what are the things that this studio could say to make you feel better? It would be these things. I think for like as crappy as a light as the studio was in, like this is the best thing that you could say, in my opinion. So there's a chance that a really cool, beautiful survival game with a new take on the genre releases in 3 days. I got my popcorn out to watch this thing. It's either going to be amazing and crazy and surprise everybody, or an absolute dumpster fire. Either way, I'm here for it.
What's your over under that it actually is a game that releases on the 7th?
It's gonna release. So I'm like 90% sure the game's gonna release on the 7th. Okay.
I think I'm with you on that. I think it's gonna release.
Now, what are you on like the percent chance that it's a good game and runs smoothly? That's a much lower number, Buff.
Yeah. That, and not even just that, but also the servers, like, are they going to be able to handle the influx of players? I mean, it's still, I believe now, again, because they had to, or maybe, I don't know if they technically lost their title. It was like the #1 Steam wishlisted game when they got taken off Steam, but then they got put back on Steam, and now it's back up there. So it's the #1 wishlisted game, I think. Still, I don't know if still or was.
Is it PvP?
It was at one point. It is PvP. So then we got to worry about netcode. Man. You know, it could go really great. And the thing is, because of the way their marketing and the way their PR team handled everything, gamers are not going to give this a second chance if it fails.
No,
you're not even going to give it the time of day at all whatsoever. If it even like if it could be like the most minute, issue. It could be like a server outage for like an hour, and then it comes back. Within that hour, people will give up on the game.
They are on thin ice. You are Yes, you are correct.
They're on the thinnest ice I've ever seen. It's what you do not want to go ice fishing on this lake.
True, especially if you're a big man. Not good.
Exactly.
You're asking for
So,
disaster.
it was nice, especially. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, that message was kind of heartfelt. I felt their their message a little bit, especially with like they broke it into like was it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 parts. So it's like to the future player, to the person who didn't believe in us, to the supporter, to the future streamer, to the volunteer, and to the partner. Um, and is literally right after they did that little like weird trailer thing that they posted their trailer in Times Square, which is pretty ballsy of them
Right.
to do.
Dude,
Right.
Like
how much does that
they're acting
cost?
like it's a
Very
trip.
ballsy.
So apparently, people were saying it's only like $4,000 to $5,000 for like a day or something
Let's
like that.
put this show up on
So,
there.
Yeah,
right.
let's pull our money together. So I think it's not super expensive for like a certain, a couple hours, something like that, or a day worth. But they did it just the marketing. So it's just like, guys, you haven't even showed us like, I mean, I guess you technically did show us proper gameplay, but at the same time, it seemed kind of staged. So it's like, you're out here acting like you're a AAA developer, like Call of Duty, trying to market their game, and you haven't even really shown us the game properly. So, and then the craziest part
Right.
is that the people who crapped on the game the most or talked about the game in the worst light possible were given keys.
Yeah.
To be like, hey, like, and here's the thing: the people that were giving keys, they understand. Like, look, if the game's good, we're gonna say it's good. We're gonna say it's a good game, even to everyone. Like, if the game comes out on the 7th and it's a good game, we will give you the benefit of the doubt. All right, we'll start playing. We'll start playing the day before. And then the fact that they went out and said that we accept any kind of criticism and they don't hold a grudge against us, again, a lot of it was they even talked about the whole asset flip. They said it isn't an asset flip, that their team worked for 5 years to make this game. So like,
that's the one.
All the little details of like the message was very well taken.
Yeah. And they just went right at the people who didn't believe in him. Is what they said. To the person who doesn't believe in us, they just went right at the controversy. They're like, we accept any kind of criticism and don't hold a grudge against you. Kindly allow us to note a few things. They said, forgive us for not doing the best marketing and teasers. So right there, they're like, we've done some really weird shit with marketing. They still are, with like being sponsored by the taxi company. Like there's weird stuff, and their teasers have been weird, and they didn't show. There's just been a whole saga to this thing that's made people question if it was a game. They said, we learn something new and improve ourselves every day. Don't accuse us of scamming. We didn't take a penny from anyone. That is 100% true. That's
another thing too.
That was huge.
Didn't take any money.
They didn't take any money. No crowdfunding, no Kickstarter, no nothing. So you can't say they scam people. And don't accuse us of an asset flip. That's not true. Our team worked day and night for 5 years to make this a reality. Don't underestimate our work. It wasn't easy. We, like you, work hard. And we're incredibly happy that our game will finally see the light of day for everyone to explore. So that's what they said to people that hated on him. And man, I'm excited for Big Fry's stream. I'm excited for him, man.
Before I buy it,
it's gonna be huge. His stream is gonna be massive.
That's gonna be one of the biggest streams he's ever had.
That's gonna be his biggest stream that he's ever had, and it's gonna be cool to watch. He deserves it, man. It's gonna be cool to see.
It's like okay, they made this message. Why couldn't you have done this like years ago?
Why just now pull your head out of your ass? I don't know.
Exactly. I don't know.
Maybe they're playing.
It's just so out of left field.
Maybe they're playing chess, and the weird marketing was marketing. Got people talking, didn't it? Maybe they're stepping ahead.
They 3D chess.
I don't know, but it's gonna make the 7th. It's going to make the 7th incredibly interesting in Big Fry's stream, and you have to set up Big Fry, and you got to be honest with what he said. He called out all the weird shit, but at the end of the day, he also said, guys, you can't be that hard on them because they didn't do a Kickstarter. Right. And he said, and he's always said that he hopes it's good, but he called out like if the game comes out and is good, everybody's gonna jump on Big Front. It's like, what now? You said it was gonna be shitty. It's like, no, he literally called out the shit that they apologized for in this statement. So, yeah.
Yeah,
but either way,
he never said the game's gonna be bad or anything like that. Like there was some weird stuff going on.
It was literally
because he talked about it. Like,
yeah, it was literally like the weirdest shit ever for a game, and I even didn't think it was real. For a long time,
I remember we talked about it for a while after they released that little demo playthrough. We covered it here, and we were all just like, "This is definitely not a real game."
It's not a real game. So, man, yeah, the 7th. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be really good. Big Fry's gonna have it. He's gonna do numbers. It's gonna be sweet.
Be doing numbers.
If it's good, Blue, you gonna make content on it? Because it could be some cool stuff.
100%. 100%. Yeah.
Nice. I look forward to that. If it comes out and it's good and it's as pretty as it is, I'll look forward to seeing what you make with it. It'll be neat.
Yeah, I know me and the boys will definitely get together and make some cinematic
all
gameplay for sure.
All you artistic folk over there.
Folks. Quick shots! I got it.
He's back.
I can do it.
He's back,
back.
Yeah.
I did it.
I don't.
What's the first quick shot?
I don't remember what we're talking about. Oh yeah, duh. New World Interactive, man. Like,
yeah.
So we're all having fun. Well, fun's over. It's time to be depressed.
I don't know. It's time to hurt your feelings.
Yeah. So hope you enjoyed that because this is gonna suck. Yeah, New World Interactive, owned by Embracer Group since 2020, is being shut down. And if you guys don't know, those are the people that made Insurgency Sandstorm. And I feel like within the community, this news story is kind of getting swept under the rug by the GTA 6 trailer. Did you guys know? There's a GTA 6 trailer out.
Wait, what?
Have you watched it?
What?
Have you watched it?
Dude, it's probably one of the worst news I've heard for a game of this caliber, especially since I've played, since I've been playing Insurgency since it's, modding days back in the day. Just like, it's sad to see this, man. Like, it's just out of nowhere. Literally, like it's been an hour and some change since this news has broken out from Insider Gaming, I believe. Right, that was like the first people we saw. So, so we can probably go start riding in the streets now. You could probably put some signs up, say, "Hey, Lars, get out your CEO seat."
That's what I'm gonna do after this. Probably. It's either eat supper or go protest, and I'll have to decide. It'll be close.
This is really bad news because Insurgency Sandstorm, I think, is one of my all-time favorite games. I had so much fun with this game. I put so many hours into it, playing with friends, community members, things like that. This is a game that I could play this game forever. So I don't know what this means. I'm assuming this means the servers on consoles and things like that and PC will get shut down eventually. So,
dude, it's gonna be one of those games where people, like when other games are shut down, they all kind of get together
and get servers up.
Yeah,
that's what's gonna happen. But it's
gonna be so sad.
And for the console players, that's not really gonna be an option, especially because it's just released on console. 2 years ago, I think it was. So not even. So this is gonna be rough, especially because I was really looking forward to the next Sandstorm title.
Same.
And they just released an update for this one. I think
October. It was a pretty decent update. Yeah, like late October, and it was
yeah, and
this just comes out of nowhere.
That's why it sucked super bad, is because they've been supporting it so well, and the content has kept coming the entire time. And we were just getting into a point. I think we talked about this like a few weeks ago, or maybe a month or two ago. It was
literally, yeah.
We're like, man, it's about time to hear about the next Insurgency title. And I think we even talked about a little bit what we hope to see with the next Insurgency title. Like we were thinking, because in my opinion, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like you have to call that game a success by all the metrics you would
100%.
judge success. Like a game that does well enough on Steam and PC to be able to get to be able to be ported over financially and make it relevant on console too, like have the money and the resources and the support to be able to get that over to console and have it active on all the platforms and doing well. and have obviously have the resources to keep making content for it and updating it. It's like, dude, why would you shut them down? Like if this happened, it feels like it had to be a successful title. I don't understand.
So
Yeah.
apparently, I was reading that article a little bit more. There was a $2 billion deal that Embracer Group was working on, and apparently that fell through back in May of 2023. And apparently, it seems like, if you guys know another company, Free Radical Design, the guys that were um, basically the creators of Time Splitters back in the day.
Right.
You know, it looked like it was between Free Radical Design and New World Interactive, and New World Interactive was the one that got put on the chopping block.
That's
Be shut down to save money, basically. So yeah.
So you have to
interesting.
you have to choose between
So
those two, and that's the one you ask. Like, what are we doing,
well, and
man?
then also, it's not just so. Apparently, they're not the only one that's on the chopping block. Gearbox Entertainment, the guys that made Borderlands,
Oh yeah, no one's ever
which is
played
one of the
Borderlands. I've never heard of that
the
series.
biggest. Yeah, exactly. Apparently, there's been talks of selling Gearbox Entertainment.
Huh.
So at least those guys are getting sold to go get away, hopefully, from Embracer Groups, and they keep Gearbox. But that's also shaky ground to be on as well too. So there's the Embracer Group is now is just I don't know, they don't care about the gamers, I guess, because they literally just shutting down or looking to sell, and it's crazy to
Yeah.
see a lot of these
Where's
games
Phil?
kind of be put on the
We
chopping
need
block.
Phil Spencer step in here and make New World Interactive a Microsoft studio. Come on, Phil.
For real, man. Like this game was this game was so good. Just the attention to detail, the movement. This was a really nice, slower paced, hardcore tactical
It's just
shooter.
I'm curious what
Yeah.
Gibbs is gonna say about this. I know if you guys don't know who MGE
Yeah.
Gibbs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I'm very curious what he's gonna say about this.
Man, it's like one of the. I mean, you think about all of like the tactical FPS games, the PC tactical FPS games on Steam. This is one of the very few that rose to the top.
And ported to console. I think it is one of the
It
only
is-
ones that ported to console, and successfully so. Like
Yeah.
this game had new life when it came over to console. Like I remember I was covering videos on it for the console release, and even doing things since, and like everyone was pumped for this. My videos for this when it was coming out and the day it came out and things like that were big videos. Like people were pumped for this, and every time I play on PS5, like there's always, there's a lot of players, it seems like. So it's really strange that this is the decision they made. Hopefully like that whole development group gets bought up by someone else
Yeah, I hope
and
so.
brought in to do. I mean, I don't think that Insurgency is probably an IP under Embracer now. They can't call it
Right.
Insurgency, but hopefully they can just make something very similar for a future title, or do something. That's a very skilled studio, and they were always like very they had great communication on social media, and again, they supported that game right up. They had the last update just a few weeks ago. So, and it came out what, 2018, I think it was,
Yeah.
when it
Sounds about right.
released. So yeah, and they did the console release 2021, end of 2020. So I think
I'm curious if they
October
said anything. No, they haven't said anything on Twitter either.
21. Yeah, so
Man.
stay tuned, I guess.
I'm pretty sure we'll get one of those big old heartfelt messages from NWI, and I hope
Yeah.
the devs and the team at NWI find work other places. There's definitely some great talent there.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure.
What I hope is they can find, an investor or another company to step in. I think New World Interactive would be an excellent studio for Sony or Microsoft. I hope Microsoft, 'cause I'm a PC player, but
Purchase
Yeah.
for
the
sure.
Microsoft studios to
yeah.
take over and take them under their wing and help them fund their next game. I hope that happens.
Yeah.
I hope they don't get split up, because that's what'll
No.
happen. If it's totally gone, the devs will go hopefully to other places and
Work
hopefully
other
land on their
places,
feet
exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah.
and go other
Right.
places. But it'd be cool I really want to see what their next project was going to be, man.
Same.
That's the thing. It was taking a while for whatever their next project was going to be. Was there talks about them working on something else, or was
No,
it just like?
And I wondered why they hadn't said anything, because the timing has felt right for a while, and it almost feels like Embracer said, "Hey,
maybe they knew
you don't need to work on
about
anything
it
else
before."
Yeah, and that's why that
Supporting it,
Sandstorm got
yeah.
supported later, because that's what they were working on instead of their next title. Because I felt like they I feel like they should have been working on their next title rather than making Sandstorm content, honestly. But yeah, bummer. I feel like they probably knew. But yeah.
All right.
What else we got?
We tore your heart out enough. Quick shots.
All right.
We
got this stuff
what?
we got? This
we got Into the Radius. We could talk about that.
Yeah. What's going on?
Yeah, Into the Radius 2. And so you guys don't already know I'm a huge Stalker player right now. You know, probably the biggest one out there right now. So, but Into the Radius was a VR game that came out on Steam that basically put you in like a Stalker like game in VR. It had like Tarkov elements where it's like you go do quest, bring back, a gun or two, an artifact or whatever quest item. You deliver it, you get money, you pay for better gear, you work your way up the levels and stuff like that. It was all in VR too. Great aspect. You had eating mechanics. I remember like literally like opening up a can of like pineapples. You take your knife. This is all like you're doing it in real life. You take your knife, you stick it into the can, pull out a piece of pineapple, you put it by your mouth, you eat the pineapple. The little things like that. There's really cool gun mechanics. There is you can customize your weapons in VR. You clean your weapons. You actually have to use spray and stuff like that, gun lube. It was really immersive that way. They had plans to release another update and then include modding support, but then they said no, we're not going to include that for Into the Radius, because for Into the Radius 2 is what they're coming out with. They're going to release, I would assume, mod support, but it is now confirmed 4-player co-op is now going to be a thing for this next game, which what people were excited for coming to the first game. Also, the pictures on Steam, I really highly recommend. They just released it on Steam to go get wishlisted. It looks so much better. If you take a look at between Into the Radius and Into the Radius 2, it is a night and day difference. And I think it's because they're really using the future VR technology, especially with the MetaQuest 3 that just came out and stuff like that. It looks absolutely amazing, and I think it's gonna run great because the first game did. I'm excited to see more footage about it because all we have is like 5 still screenshots. But they did say there is going to be single player and co-op modes, which is great. There is going to, if there's going to be modding support, you're basically going to get Stalker in VR, Stalker multiplayer in VR. People are just going to be able to mod whatever the heck they want into it. So like,
hell yeah.
Does it have a timetable for release?
No timetable yet. Oh, actually, they did say late 2025. But from it makes sense from everything that they're bringing into the game. So, I don't know what it takes to develop a VR game of this caliber as well too. So, game development's already hard enough. Now putting it into the VR aspect, I think, is even tougher. But yeah, it's so late 2025 is what they said. And it's also going to be the same price that the first Into the Radius was. And if I look correctly, I can know how to spell.
That'll never keep up with inflation.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. Where is
it? Looks awesome.
My Into the Radius. There you are.
The screenshots you sent look crazy for VR, man.
It look amazing. Yeah, the first Into the Radius game is $30. So it's going to be $30 when it does release. So heck, right now the first Into the Radius is on sale for $17.99. And if you have a VR headset and if you haven't really used it and you haven't played this game, I would highly recommend you trying this out. I mean, even this game looks great as well too. It really depends on your headset though to really get the full aspect and the full like resolution quality. But I mean, dude, you got everything from like SKSs, Mosins to then the AK-12s, M4s, and you have freaking, your double barrel shotgun and stuff like that. You have, stuff like that. You can customize your hideout a little bit. There's artifacts, there's anomalies, there's cigarettes that you got to smoke as well too to kind of keep yourself.
Oh, you can smoke
getting
darts in this
radiated.
thing?
You can, dude, you can smoke darts. You can play the guitar as well. They got a guitar that you can play.
Man.
So you can live the stalker lifestyle with a Makarov at your side, and on top of that, they were at the VR because right now I think it's Steam VR Fest is currently happening from today's the first day actually, so from December 4th to the 11th. So
just ripping heaters, man. That's what I'm doing,
dude.
I'll play
VR,
this.
I really recommend, if not this year, next year, because I wanted to get the MetaQuest 3, but I wanted to wait because they always have like a couple bugs and glitches that they got to iron out when the first couple updates come out. So I was gonna wait, see how that turns out. Maybe the big screen Beyond is another VR headset that I got my eyes on. That's like super tiny. It's like the smallest looking VR headset, but it's got great resolution apparently. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. So. Yep, into the radius. I'm excited.
Nice.
Looks pretty sweet.
I don't know of anything else. That does look cool. You can. I'll just be sitting down by the water, fishing, ripping heaters, drinking beers.
You can
Crash,
do
we
that.
need
You
your
can
help.
be drinking beer in real life, dude.
We need your help.
Oh
It's
yeah,
like,
I forgot it's gonna be co-op. Yeah,
I got all the help I need over here, man.
Dude, we're dying. We're fighting mutants. We're fucking. Oh my god! Oh my god!
I'm just
Crash is just sitting in this
chain
chair.
smoking
just
ball balls,
chilling.
baby. Nobody, thank you so much for the super chat, dude. I appreciate that. Have a good night, man. Thank you. Super kind, man. Thank you guys for the support. But man, I don't know anything else that we missed.
Nope, that's all I got.
You guys hear about GTA 6?
Did you
Wait, what?
What?
Dude, hang on. Really? Holy
The
shit.
trailer released,
Oh
man.
my god.
Oh yes, Florida man is trending. Let's go.
Blue is trending. That's epic, man.
I'm trending on Twitter.
Heck yeah. The trailer's released. Get us banned. I never really monetize these anyway, so people can just come in without watching ads. So there's really nothing that they can claim. But
you know what's crazy too? I saw recently was Red Dead Redemption 2 got a VR like mod.
Oh,
dude,
sweet.
Imagine GTA 6 with VR mod.
it's too real. That's why I quit playing GTA 5. I was doing some like RP thing and I had to like pay rent and bills and shit and had to go to work. And I'm like, dude, no. Like I do this in real life. I don't need
I did RP for a bit for GTA 5. I did it for actually quite some time, but I was like I would always go like mechanic and street racer. Because I'm just a big car guy, so I would just be, street racing and stuff like that. So, because clearly I've never done that in real life. Nope, never.
Yeah. So,
oh boy. Anyways,
the trailer's out, guys. I don't know if you know.
it was out.
FYI.
Yeah, I think that's a show.
Oh man,
right? Cool with
that? That is
Good.
a show.
All right, man. Well, everybody have an awesome week. Enjoy the time in Urzikstan, checking out the new map. Enjoy what unfolds on the 7th with Ready or Not, or Day Before, whatever, other 3-letter title. I'm old, sorry. The day before. So get excited to see what unfolds there. And yeah, we'll just keep you guys up to date on everything. In the background, we gotta keep track of where the New World Interactive devs go. Hopefully they can stick together.
Oh,
So
definitely.
we'll hopefully keep track of that stuff in the background. And yeah, just keep everybody updated, be reacting to Warzone and whatever else pops up next week. So appreciate you guys. We're getting close to Tarkov wipe and we're getting really close to Tarkov Arena too. So that's gonna be
Oh,
We're getting
yeah.
close to episode 100.
dude, should we do something different? I don't even know what
We should ask the audience, like, hey, what would you guys want to see for episode 100?
Yeah, I don't know.
You know?
I don't know what we would do. So yeah, come to any one of our discords or hit anybody up, any one of the three of us if you have any cool episode 100 ideas. We might try to cook something up to be a little bit silly. I don't know. I don't want to set expectations too high because I honestly can't think of anything off the top of my head that wouldn't be TOS and get us banned on YouTube. Because I would literally stand here with some of these guns and shoot them out the window right here in my office, but I would instantly get banned. So that's off the table. Even though that would be like that's my first that's where my head goes, like firearms. That's like what I think about. But
I like it.
I don't know. Definitely have a cigar, at the very least.
There you go. There you go.
But nah, man, I appreciate everybody. Blue and Buff, Appreciate you guys and your time so much. Everybody for being here. So kind. It's incredible. Everybody that listens, the podcast listeners, crazy. There's a lot of you. Thank you so much. Everyone have an awesome week. If you want to support the show, come back and see us next week. Bring a friend with you. And we will see you guys then. Bye.
Peace.
Bye.